So, a Palm Sunday hymn, because we are about to hear Jesus talking to the disciples about what he sees lying ahead, his entry to Jerusalem, his arrest, his crucifixion, and his rising from the dead. Let's hear what Matthew records. I'm reading from chapter 16 of Matthew's Gospel. From that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed, and on the third day be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "Never, Lord," he said, "this shall never happen to you." Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world and yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what they have done. Truly I tell you, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his glory." Wow. Difficult teaching. Jesus telling his disciples that they've got it all wrong. And it led me to wonder what got Jesus going in the morning. Cup of tea? Well, no, not unless he'd lived in China at the time. Coffee, of course, not at all. People didn't drink coffee until, 1,500 years later. So what did Jesus have for breakfast? Well, perhaps simply something that was left over from the night before, or perhaps, and that's, I think, most likely, a spoonful of sugar in some yogurt. Sugar gives energy, sets you up, and is good for the health. Sorry, not sugar, honey, I mean. And that would be perhaps the boost that Jesus needed. But what really got Jesus going was the excitement that he felt about following his Father's will. I think that does come through very clearly in all the accounts we have. Jesus was a man with a purpose. He wanted to do what his Father had set before him, and that was to work out unconditional love, to live that. Jesus had been around long enough by now to know that unconditional love is not what people want. We all set limits, boundaries, props to our love and esteem and respect. We live in a divided world, and Jesus was above all of that, through all of that, beyond all of that, and that's not popular. because it challenges all of us and all our own divisions. So Jesus knew what was going to come, and he had set himself this journey, and like most of us, he would prefer to do it with companions. So he'd chosen the disciples partly to go with him, partly to carry on after him. So journeying with a reason. Here's a song about journeying with a reason. Going home. Sentimental journey. And here it's sung by Ella Fitzgerald.